Even if it wasn't really called the story, not just the performance issues that's bad in this game. Hey man, listen. Everything that you're saying, I've already said. Like, I put out a YouTube video on it. I put out a Twitter post on it. Like, regardless of all of the issues that Wuthering Waves had, Genshin Impact has those same issues for 4 years, and they're never going to get fixed. So why are we acting like only one game has issues? It makes no sense. Sounds hypocritical when you literally skip 90% of Wuthering story while you at least watch the Genshin stories. Okay, so you think I'm hypocritical. So what you're saying is that I did all of Genshin story, right?
It's time.
So you're saying I did all of Genshin story, but I skipped Wuthering Waves. Is that what you're saying? I want to make sure that's exactly what you're saying, okay? While you're calling me hypocrite here, so let's hear it. Sounds hypocritical when you literally skip 90% of Wuthering story while you at least watch the Genshin stories, right? Is that what you're saying? No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead, say it again. Say it again. Go ahead. No, go ahead, okay? So you're saying I skipped more in Wuwa. So here's a fun fact. I haven't skipped any Wuthering Waves main story that I haven't already experienced in the closed beta test. And that's why I said in the beginning of Wuthering Waves, you really spam through unvoiced dialogue. No, I already skipped that. What do you mean caught, bitch? Are you retarded? Bro, I skip every single unvoiced dialogue. Every single game I do that. Every single game. In Wuthering Waves, I've already done the main story for the CBT2. This guy's actually retarded. Here, I'll write it down. That way you can read it. Okay, hold up. Let's pull it up. I skip every side quest unvoiced in every game without exception.
I see my way clear.
I haven't skipped any main story quest I haven't already experienced in this CBT. So go ahead. Tell me how I'm wrong. We get it, you don't like Hoyo, but want that bag. Okay, so I want to let you know, I have made now 8 times the amount that I've been paid for the sponsorship for Wuthering Waves by merely just streaming.
I see my way clear.
Okay? You glazing on the game for shit that should have been fixed before release isn't good. Like what? What have I been glazing that needs finishing and polishing? Let me know what I've been glazing specifically that isn't in a good state right now. You're saying the devs rolling out emergency hotfixes is good. It is. When a game has an issue and the devs respond and fix it, that's a great thing. Rather than ignoring it and saying it's a feature, not a bug. That's not good, shipping out unfinished products. Well, then if you don't want a unfinished game, then you shouldn't support Genshin Impact either. Because the amount of bugs that existed on day 1 were insane. They should have been fixed beforehand. Okay, so we're doing rules for thee, but not for me, are we? Bug Mega Thread 1.0 4 years ago on the release of Genshin Impact. So why is it rules for thee, but not for me? So then you're saying Genshin Impact shouldn't be finished as well. Is that right? At least Genshin didn't have major performance issues. So you're saying that having characters have their face deleted, having people be able to go into other people's co-op world with Kave and delete artifact domains isn't a serious issue? Are you telling me that Arlecchino's bug versus Dvalin that still exists today, where the developers say it's a feature, not a bug, is fine? It's literally unplayable for a significant chunk of players still. Okay. So, are you saying that Genshin Impact did not have a serious issue where it was breaking people's phones on launch by overheating it and people not being able to run it on mobile? Now you're just being disingenuous? Where? Where am I being disingenuous? Go ahead. Compared to Genshin, Wuwa has more issues. That's an undisputable fact. Okay? So what you're saying is, well, this game's messed up, but this game's more messed up. So this one's perfectly fine and the other one's a bad guy. Is that what you're saying? Because it seemed to me like you ignore all of Genshin's issues, but yet you have to acknowledge every single one for Wuthering Waves. I'm not saying that. You're twisting my words, Shill. Okay, then what are you saying?
Clear.
Let me know exactly what it is that you're saying. I want to know exactly what it is that you're saying. Because so far, I've disproven every single one of your claims and you continue to move the goalpost. Because here's the thing. I'm not saying Wuthering Waves doesn't have issues. I've actually said it has issues multiple times about the voice acting and the story. But what I'm saying is the game is playable. Were people saying it is en masse unplayable? That is simply not true. It is unplayable for some people, but for the large majority, it is still playable. I'm saying don't praise the incompetent devs for fixing shit and saying, oh, tentpole is insane. So let me tell you why I'm doing that. Because when Genshin Impact does bug fixes or hot fixes, whenever it happens, we get rewarded about maybe 100 primo gems. Maybe if we're lucky, even 480. I'm saying that we get a bug fix in this game, we got a tentpole. So in comparison, yeah, it's pretty good that we get 10 to 6x the amount of rewards that we get from the other game. Story issues are way too late to fix. That's crazy because they just fixed the story in beta as well. And honestly, here's another hot take. I don't think the story's bad. I think the delivery's bad. And I think it's the voice acting. And I think they can retroactively address the voice lines. So go ahead. Keep going, man. We can sit here all day. It's in release, bro. They can rewrite in beta. They can 1,000,000% change voice lines and change voice work.
Keep your fangs
post-launch.
sharp.
They can 1,000,000% do that. There is nothing saying that you can't change that. I'm saying the plot, you disingenuous fuck. I think plot is subjective on whether you enjoy it or not, and it's not an objective fact that something is unenjoyable or not, right? So I'm saying the voice acting. See, for example, if I made a plate of spaghetti,
I see my way
if I made a plate of spaghetti, 10 people are gonna eat it, 8 might enjoy it, 2 might not. It's subjective. That's why I'm saying the delivery is bad, not the actual story. I feel like if the voice actors were changed, and gave different intention and the voice direction was changed, it would be much better. So continue to tell me how I'm being a shill. You skipping 90% of the game is evidence it's bad. I skipped 90% of Genshin Impact as well.
Keep your fangs sharp.
I literally hired somebody to go on my account to play the game for me, and that includes main story quest. So far for Wuthering Waves, I've skipped 0% main story quest. But I am skipping the side quest, as I do for every game. And yet you're still glazing, Jesus Christ. And look at that. And suddenly, I don't think you can defend your points anymore. So do you have anything else that you think you've caught me on, Mr. Tectone? This game is going to be dead at the end of I don't have any more points, so I'm going to just say the game is dead. This game is going to be dead in like TOF, and you'll be back to farming that this game wasn't that good in a few months. Okay, well then I'll see you in a few months. That's the same thing that people said for Honkai Star Rail too. How I'd give up on that game, I wouldn't play it, and then I would shit talk it. That's wild, right? Remember that? And then y'all said that game would be dead too. You remember that? That's wild. You can't have longevity without a good story or characters. Yeah, I know, dude. League is dead. Yeah, I know, dude. Smash Bros is dead. True. Again, being disingenuous. Oh, really? How? How am I being disingenuous? Go ahead. You're comparing apples to oranges? Okay. Well, you gave me a vague statement. I am giving you points to counter it. If you don't want me to make vague comparisons, then make specific comparisons. This is a story-focused game. Says who? Says who? Who said that? Who said that this is a story-focused game? Let me know where the dev said that. Can you prove that? Because as far as I'm concerned, I thought this was an action RPG. Literally 90% of the game is story and exploration. Well, no, you said it's a story-focused game. You didn't say it was a story and exploration-based game, because if it's a story and exploration game, the exploration is actually quite good. Sharp. So then what percent of the game is story? Let me know, because right now you just comboed it. That's not very... That's pretty disingenuous, don't you think? I don't think you're being very genuine. So is it a story game or is it an exploration game? No wonder you're the most hated man on Twitch and the most viewed. So, anything else? You haven't brought up my divorce yet. You haven't brought up that I'm bald. You got anything else or no? Most viewers like those 30 million fake pre-registrations. Oh, okay. So the viewers are fake. Okay. Why did it say that I have 91% then? So then are you saying that I have the most viewers, but allegedly 8.7% of my viewers could be fake? So are you saying that if 8% of my audience right now, which is 10,800, if let's say 1.1K of those are fake, that would drop me down to 9K, which would still be the most by 6,000 viewers. So, what's your argument now? Doesn't woo-wop pre-registrations are real, dude? It's a joke. Okay, so let me get this right. So you've moved every single one of your points wrong, and now you're getting it to the point where you expect me to prove that the pre-registers are fake. Okay, let me show you why the pre-registers are real. And then we're gonna see where you move the goalpost to next. So if the pre-registrations are fake and there's actually no engagement or no interest online, Then why does Google Trends say that currently, as of time of recording, Wuthering Waves has
Keep your
5 times the
fangs
amount of
sharp.
interest as Genshin Impact? Why does Wuthering Waves have 90 times the viewership of Genshin Impact? Is it because Google Trends is botted as well? Because it's
Keep
a
your
new game?
fangs
What, so
sharp.
what you're saying is the game has high interest because it's a new game? Oh my god! And you know what? Do you think maybe 30 million people could have been excited for it because it's a new game, just like Google Trends show? You're being disingenuous as fuck. Google Trends isn't evidence for 30 million pre-regs, but it's also not evidence against it. However, you know what evidence you have? Nothing besides, well, I really feel like it's fake. So I have presented evidence for
I
it. You
see
have
my
provided
way
zero
clear.
evidence against it, yet you're saying my proof is disingenuous, but your gut feeling is more legitimate. So how does that work? By the way, man, we understand that you just learned the word disingenuous 30 seconds ago, but you're spamming that shit more than Genshin Impact's combat. Look at the Twitch viewership for Wuwa. It's already dropping like a fly. It didn't even hit 200,000 viewers on launch day. Oh man, you're right. It's over. Do you want to know why? Because they didn't put fucking drops at launch. If they would have put drops, it would have had more viewership, but not everybody watches Twitch. Like, oh, it didn't even hit 200K. Oh man. Is that the magic number that proves everything correct? What is the value of 200K? Because right now, Tectone, I'm gonna say something, man. I don't think I'm the one being disingenuous in a shill. I feel like it's one of you. Yes, it's one of the evidence points. Oh, so because Twitch didn't hit 200,000 viewers on launch, can you send me graphical data showing what the peak viewership hit for Twitch was? Can you show me? Can you show me a graph of the category? Just so I can pull it up. Twitch, look it up. No, you can Google it if you want to send it. I showed you mine. I was very kind, but you can send me yours. Pull it up. Chat, I'm on mobile. No, chat. This is not your fight to battle. This is not your fight to battle. I'll pull it up when you link it. I'll pull it up when you link it. You can do your job. You're not going to come into my chat and tell my chat what to do. Listen, man, you wanted to step up. I've given you more than 10 minutes. All right, here we go. All right. Twitch Insights. All right, so currently, what is this? 60,000 people watching. And right now it hit at max, let's say 146,000. So Genshin Impact only has 1.6 thousand live viewers. So then I guess
I
all
see
the
my
pre-registrations
way
were
clear.
fake. 7-day you're disingenuous again? You think so? How? How's that? What am I being disingenuous about?
I
Look
see
at
my
all-time
way
graphs,
clear.
bro? Okay, I would love to. You want me to look at all-time graphs? I would love to. Oh, I don't think this is gonna prove the point that you think it's gonna prove, man. I don't think that this is gonna prove what you think it's gonna prove. I'm gonna be real, brother, man. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So here's the thing, man. On the launch of a very big update, it only peaked at 72,000. But Wuthering Waves peaked at 146,000. So I'm gonna be real, dude. Like, your game's kind of dropping like a fly. Like, that's not, I know, 619,000 peak, and look where it's at
Keep
now.
your fangs sharp.
Look where it's at now. With COVID, is 619,000 peak when internet activity was increased by 417%. You know, you should be comparing Genshin's launch to Wuwa. No, you actually shouldn't, because during COVID era, internet active usage on Twitch was actually increased by 417%. Right? So no, I wouldn't compare that. And even if I did, 619,000 divided by 25%, because that's how much less people are on here, that would actually equate to around 150,000, which is very comparable to Wuthering Waves launch. Then that just serves as evidence that Wuwa will die in a couple months if that residual viewership for even Genshin is that low. No, because the same thing for Honkai Star Rail happened, where the launch of Honkai Star Rail was actually much less than Genshin Impact. However, the game is still thriving and very comparable to Genshin, actually surpassing Genshin multiple times. So actually that argument is also invalid by previous user data. So, am I being disingenuous? The game is thriving because of good story and good characters. Wuwa has none of that.
Keep your
okay.
fangs
So
sharp.
are you telling me that a burger restaurant can't thrive because the track and field store sells shoes? And if you don't sell shoes, you can't be successful? Or do you think that different games can be successful for different reasons? Because just because the track and field store is successful because they sell shoes, doesn't mean the burger restaurant can't be successful for selling burgers. They're both the same genre. Are they? Are they? Once again, it's like comparing Genshin to League. You're doing the same shit again. No, I'm not. Because Genshin is much more story focused. You know, you get a 2-hour story every, it used to be 6 weeks, but now it's about every 24 weeks. And for Wuthering Waves, you actually play the game and do combat. The reason why you're saying it's different is because they are different games. Because you're saying they're the same and then you're saying they're different. And same with Wuwa, the exploration content is going to dry up in a week.
Fangs sharp.
Sure, it might, but in 1.1, if they add more to explore and more to fight, then you're fine. Case in point, Honkai Star Rail. The content still dries up, but that doesn't mean it's a dead game, because then when the new patch comes out, you can explore it again. And you'll be mint picking. Oh, okay, then show me this when I'm going around picking mint. Show me this when I'm out of content and I'm going around picking mint. Let me know. So Tectone, who's your favorite content creator for Gacha? Isn't Genshin botting viewers on Twitch? People keep streaming the game because they'll lose their identity? Yeah. I can't prove that though, unfortunately. So let me get this right. And I just want to make sure that we're all here right now. Okay, we're all here. Okay. I have disproved every single point that you put out. You have moved and you've moved and you've moved and you've moved. And now we're at the final stages. Okay? Now we're at the final stages. So I am just curious. Okay? Do you still think I'm being disingenuous? Let me know. Do you still think I'm being disingenuous? And also, Zachariah's a great content creator. Yes? Okay. About what? What do you think I'm being disingenuous about? Everything? You're eating this pile of dog shit like it's a buffet. Really? You think so? I think I've had a pretty nuanced take on Wuthering Waves, pros and cons. But you really think that I'm being disingenuous about everything? Every single thing I've said? Or are you using a vague blanket statement because you don't really know the specifics? And so you're into a corner and now you're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. Kind of like I throw cum from my dick and I stick it on your mom's face.
My way clear.
Yes, saying that everything can be fixed by the dev soon. Well, not everything needs to be fixed. Only a few things need to be fixed. But 95% of the game is fine. So what are you upset about? Anything more? Because right now it seems like you're just slopping up Genshin shit. The story needs to be fixed. It's even heavily criticized by CN for being so bad. Okay, well, I haven't finished it yet. So I don't want to judge that. And for me, I've already said, the beginning is rough, the scar part is cool. And now for Act 5, that was also enjoyable. And I think subjectively, people can enjoy the story, but even for me, I don't really enjoy it that much. However, I don't think this game lives and dies by its story, because I think it's brought more to the table. I do agree that it's an important aspect of the game, but on the same note that Genshin Impact lives and dies by the story, I mean, just think about it. Nobody gives a fuck about the combat in that game, so what makes you think that Wuthering Waves can't survive by just having good exploration, movement, and combat, and gameplay? What makes you think that it can't do that? Because right now, it's in a genre of games where no other game has combat to this degree. Combat alone can't carry this game. It'll get old after a while. According to whom? Because you get a new character every 6 weeks. Because just like you're saying that combat alone can't carry this game, it'll get old after a while, the same people were saying that Honkai Star Rail's turn-based RPG would also get tired. New characters isn't content, even you said that. No, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree that new characters aren't new combat. But if people are willing to be bored and they want something fresh to change up the game, they'd be more than willing to spend. HSR has good story and characters, that's the difference. Okay, but did they or did they not? Because no one's denying that. No one's denying that Honkai Star Rail has good characters and good story. I've been saying that since day one. But did people not say that the game would be irrelevant because it was turn-based RPG? Because that was a major point of contention. They said it was an open world. They say nobody wants a turn-based RPG. Yeah, but they defied expectations by improving on the formula. Wuwa did everything poorly besides combat. So what you're saying is the combat is good? Right? So let me make sure you say this. So you're saying the combat is good? Yes, I never said the combat was bad, but the rest of the game is trash, in your opinion. So what you're saying is the combat is good. So why can't they build a foundation around just the combat? And combat alone cannot carry this game long term. Okay. That's your opinion. Why don't we wait and see? Don't you think it would be better to just wait and see? Or should we quit right now because the combat's really fun and good? Because I'm confused what the point is that you're making. Yep, you better credit me when you make excuses for Woo-Wah died. Oh, I'm not gonna credit you. Well, I mean, I'd be crediting myself because we're both the same person, right? How do you feel about yourself after all this? Do you feel
Keep
like
your
you
fangs
exposed me for
sharp.
being a shill, or what do you think? Because what I saw was a person desperately trying to prove a point, doing over-emotional points that you weren't backing up whatsoever, and moving the goalpost and moving the goalpost and moving the goalpost. I'm good. I still think you're being a
see
shill,
my
but
way
nothing I will
clear.
say will change you in your echo chambers community's mind. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why would I need to shill? Why do you think I would need to shill Wuthering Waves? What makes you think that I would be incentivized to shill Wuthering Waves? Because you're the Genshin hater and you built a community around it. And now you need to save face. How would me shilling Wuthering Waves make me save face? Don't you think if the game was bad, I would say the game is bad and then push the goalpost to Azure Pamelia? Because Azure Pamelia is very, very, very casual. And that's going to be more directly comparable to Genshin Impact. So why would I need Wuthering Waves to work out when Azure Pamelia is releasing later this year? And why would I need to shill that when I've also made it a career of just doing general just chatting, reacting now? And if my echo chamber of my chat accepts everything I would say, then why would I need to save face if in your logic, you're saying that they'll accept whatever I say regardless? Because you literally spend like 3 months saying Woo-Wah will save the Genshin X players. And I think it did. And I really think it did. And I also haven't spent the past 3 months. I've said the past 3 years. That's way
Keep your
different.
fangs sharp.
I don't know. I think the game is great. So don't you think I would have done the same thing that I've done with every other game, where when it has pros and when it has cons, I say exactly what they are and I get the developers to listen? Because if I were to shill this game when developers are listening, wouldn't that be counterintuitive when all I've wanted is a developer that actually listens to its player base? That's being disingenuous again. How? This game is performing poorly just based on metrics. How? Listening to the players isn't a sign that the devs are competent. Okay, so is ignoring the players a sign that the developers are competent? So should developers ignore their players then? It's evident that they lack the ability to push quality products and don't have focus in mind of where the game should go. Okay, so is what you're saying in this direct comparisons of Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, are you saying that the Genshin Impact Hoyoverse players and the developers are taking the game in a good direction? They literally rewrote 80% of the story because the CN community complained. Exactly, and that's a great thing. At least Genshin has a focus. Okay, so tell me, what did Genshin focus on from 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, and 4.6? What did they focus on? And when you complain about echo chambers, keep in mind the Genshin community praised 4.3 for 4.6 for being dry patches. That way they can catch up on old content. They had a roadmap of all the continents even prior to release, and that lasted until 1.2. Yes, they named their continents. They gave their continents a name.
Keep your fangs
That's
sharp.
amazing. That is huge, man. They had a focus. You know what I think, Tectone? You know what I think? I think you're the shill for Genshin Impact. That's what I think. I think that you're the shill. Because as far as I'm concerned, you have not picked a single issue that Genshin Impact has had this entire conversation. You're acting like it's a game that can do no wrong, and you have only pointed out negativity in the opposing game. That's what I think. Even Asmund said, Woo-Wah is a great combat-focused game that's brought down by everything else. Okay, well, I think Asmund wasn't giving a full, in-depth opinion on what he was saying, because that is a straight-up incorrect take. Okay? Here's what Wuthering Waves does very good. Exploration, movement, combat. Even the player reward system and endgame systems. Okay? Here's what Wuthering Waves has not done good yet. Voice acting and story. The characters, in my opinion, the males are better than any of the males in Hoyoverse games. The females are lackluster until Yinlin comes out. I would also like to say that Genshin Impact's 1.0 story, I shit you not, was fighting a spiral abyss mage on top of Dvalin, and the story has not progressed barely anything in 3 years. Where is our brother? Who knows? Yes, and those are the two most important aspects for a live service game to last long. Okay, so are you telling me that people play World of Warcraft only for the story? and the raid mechanics in PvP aren't why people are playing it? Because as far as I'm concerned, Final Fantasy XIV is a more story-based heavy game, and World of Warcraft is a more mechanically intensive game, meaning that two of games that are similar live services and similar models can exist for different reasons. Do you get it yet or no? You keep saying 1.0 Genshin is bad, but it's iconic. People who don't even play Genshin know Amber and Jean and shit. Yeah, from the porn and the oversaturation of marketing. And also it was during COVID. Genshin came out before COVID. COVID happened in December. Virus was discovered in Wuhan, China in 2019 and spread rapidly around the globe. It was declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization in March 2020. Genshin Impact release date, September 28th, 2020. So, what were you saying? So let me get this right. I'm going to show you Google showing you with direct evidence that you're wrong, and you're still going to defend your point. How about you say I'm sorry, I misspoke. Genshin came out in September, COVID came out in December.
Keep your fangs sharp.
I'll pull it up again. Virus discovered in Wuhan, China in 2019, spread rapidly around the globe. It was declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization in March 2020. Genshin Impact, September 28th, 2020. All right, we're going to pull it up again. We're going to wait. You're being disingenuous again. Okay, so I just want to make sure. We can move forward with this conversation, but you need to acknowledge that you're wrong. Once you acknowledge that you're wrong, we can move forward. Because we're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere unless you actually tell the truth. I misspoke on that. Okay, great, you're banned. Retard. Jesus Christ. Fucking dumbass, bro.